Is it all right, especially in 2023, to have start small as far as local MMA promotions? I think sometimes a lot of guys who come into MMA, especially the promoters, think they want to do something big, something large. I've been to two of the Josh Oxendine's fights this past year. So you just got to start small. Both of them were done at a community center in Cumberland, North Carolina. He's going to Wadsboro, or Wadsboro, however you pronounce it correctly, in February. Is it all right? It's okay to start small, correct?
Seth?
I think so. I absolutely believe you should. And I think that we should have tiers on certain shows where we have some more of these beginning guys go with some of these beginning promotions so they get their feet wet together instead of just throwing a lot of these day one guys right into the middle of a fight with teams like Shenmo and teams like Highest End. Let these teams compete against one another on shows that really kind of need to figure it all out, try to get their everything right. Like Dylan said, you still want to have some sizzle. So you're going to have some mega fights, but you can match those guys up against one another. A lot of times these younger gyms get thrown in on the wrong type of promotion that's filled with killers. Just gym after gym after gym, just filled with killers. And a lot of these guys get thrown in against the wrong opponent. So yeah, I like the idea of a few more shows, but they kind of have, they cater to a certain type of fighter, a certain type of audience, to help those guys grow.
And there's nothing wrong, and this is no knock on Joshua Oxendine at all. He put on a great show, had some great fighters in his own right. A lot of guys came from his gym. So to me, it was great having seeing the learning experience from younger guys in the smaller promotion.
From what I saw on a lot of the Tapology, a lot of those guys were like 0-0, 0-1, 1-0. I think that was the right platform for them.
I think that Josh is doing a great job. I think that promotion's good. I think that there's a big difference between playing your role as a small promotion and then there's trying to be something you aren't. I think there's another promotion that's similar in scope and size as to Ox Fitness, but they advertise themselves and present themselves and try to matchmake themselves like they're not that. I'm not going to say who they are, but if you're in the scene, you probably know who they are. And it's every time I go to one of those shows, it's not like I'm disgusted by the venue or like any of the attendance or anything that is being done, but it's the marketing and the presentation not matching the product. Sure. Right. Especially when you put certain big names in front of it, Mr. Blank presents, and then you show up and it looks worse than somebody slapping a show together in the parking lot of a strip club. I got some problems with that. But I will say, to your point, Seth, in a perfect world, yes, we could bracket some of these shows out, but promoters have a hard enough time getting their own shows to run. They're not going to talk to each other and work together. That's like the last thing that you can expect from them. I mean, I think that in a perfect world, yes, we would see skill-based matchmaking, but I also really enjoy when some guy who's never fought before randomly gets to fight a guy like Mike Bullock, because you look at Mike Bullock and you don't necessarily see a world champion killer, but he's from a good gym and he trains with good people and he has good fundamentals. So if you put him in there with a guy who's never taken a grappling class but thinks it's a smart idea to sign up for an MMA fight, which is a complete disrespect to the sport of MMA and the sport of grappling, then it's really rewarding and an awesome storyline when Mike Bullock puts it on him and submits him in a round. Like, I think that those kind of things have their place in the world, if for nothing else than to reality check some people's expectation on what MMA actually is.